time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Pet Show. Is your French Bulldog acting a little ferocious? Does your Abyssinian have you really anxious? Are your Beagles behaving belligerent? Well, if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, you're listening to The Pet Show. If you care about wildlife and the environment and want to really learn, and I mean really learn how to understand your dogs and cats as well as they understand you, if you're confused about your dog or cat's behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. By the way, this is America's first. Call him. Your cat's not using the litter box, scratched your favorite chair, hides when people come over, peed on your bed. Your dog doesn't get along with people when they walk into the house. You take him for a walk and it's a catastrophe when he sees another dog. That's what we do here on the show. In fact, that's what we've been doing here on the show for the last 42 years, helping you in a very positive, upbeat way as an animal behaviorist resolve any issues you may be having with your dog or cat's behavior and any issues your dog or cat may be having with your behavior. So that's what this show is all about, resolving issues, but also at the same time, your input on this show is amazing. Listen, no one can know it all. I sometimes think I'd like to, but I don't. So sometimes your input is really helpful as well. Let me just remind everyone that we've been doing this show for a long time. And because of that, I have some amazing sponsors. And that means that everybody that calls into the show today and gets to talk to me live on the air will, in fact, get an absolutely amazing gift. Not for you, but for that beautiful dog or cat. And many of the items we give away here on the show are worth as much as $35, $45, even $50. So if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, want to resolve any issues you may be having, or just want to share an incredible adoption story, I'm going to talk later about a dog that wound up going back to a shelter 14 times before it found its forever home. So if you have a question or just want to brag a little bit, and the reason I say this every week, if you've adopted a dog, if you adopted a cat, if you rescued a dog, if you rescued a cat, sometimes just giving me a call and talking about it on the air actually encourages other listeners. You know, thousands and thousands of listeners we have every week, encourages other listeners. You know what? Maybe I should go adopt a dog or rescue a cat or help that dog that's roaming the neighborhood. So the bottom line is your input on this show is really critical because literally over the last 42 years, this is no exaggeration, we have saved together, you, me, and my national audience, tens of thousands of animals by working together. Not just by talking about it, but by actually doing it. And a little bit later on today's show, I'm going to bring this up in a bit. I'm going to talk about different ways. You know, so many of my listeners, so many of you guys really love animals and want to help them, but sometimes you just don't know exactly what to do or how to get started. So we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, if you have a question, a comment, want to share a story, brag about a dog or cat you rescued, tell me how it started out. It was a little tough maybe at the beginning, but now the dog or cat turned out to be fabulous. Everyone that calls in and talks to me live on the air today will get a fabulous gift. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA. That's easy enough to remember. 866-870 KRLA. If you're more of a numbers person, that's 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. As I said, plenty of time to help you resolve any issues you may be having with your pets, or more than likely any issues your pets may be having with you. And I want to hear from people who just maybe recently adopted a dog or recently rescued a cat. As I said, the reason I love to hear from you guys is because every time I do, you encourage other people to do the same thing. And you know my goal in life, it's been my goal for my entire career, is to put everyone in rescue and humane out of business because all the dogs and cats have that forever have a home that they really do deserve. Again, the number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me tell you what is coming up on today's show, but as you know by now, your questions, your comments, your stories are always my priority. But I'd like to go through some of these topics so that hopefully we'll get to them during the next couple of hours. You know, as I said earlier, many of my listeners, you guys are absolutely amazing. My listeners are saints. Many of my listeners want to help animals in need, but many are not sure about how to get involved. You know, donations are wonderful, but there are so many other things you can do. Coming up, I'm going to share with you guys different ways you can help rescue humane societies, shelters, small mom and pop organizations all over Southern California. So coming up a little bit later, I'll tell you what you can do to help. So those people that are sitting there say, I wish I could do more. I can't go out there. I can't foster. Maybe I don't have enough money to donate. There are so many other things you can do. I'll share that information coming up. And by the way, for my rescues out there, if you have ideas also how people can help, give me a call. Let me know, and we'll share that on the air. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Also, coming up on today's show, you know, we love our dogs, and yeah, they're pretty amazing, but sitting on the couch all day or a little walk or run is not really what your dogs want. They would much rather be mentally and physically exercised. Coming up, ways to challenge your dog's mind, and you know what? It works for cats as well. So we'll talk about that. And as a behaviorist, having trained over 40,000 animals, many issues are directly related to dogs and cats, for that matter, that are not getting that mental and physical exercise that they really need. Also coming up, does your dog or cat have a big mouth? I mean, I feel like Jackie Gleason. Does your dog or cat have a big mouth? I mean, a really, really big mouth? Today we're going to take a look at loud pets. What does it mean? What you can do about it? Is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? So if you have a dog with a big mouth or a cat that's meowing 24/7, give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Also coming up, as I said earlier, an amazing story. Can you imagine the psychological effects it's had on this dog that was returned to the shelter after being adopted out 14 times? Not one, not 5, not 10. This dog was adopted out to 14 different homes, wound up back at the shelter every single time. But maybe there's a happy ending. We'll take a look at that as well. As always, plenty of time for all your questions and comments. Lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away. So, if your pet happens to be a chewer, maybe your dog is jumping up on everyone, or maybe your cat that you rescued is confused about the litter box, maybe the puppy you helped is not housebroken, poor guy suffering with separation anxiety, your dog's depressed, he's chasing anything, cat scratched your favorite chair, and your dog literally believes that the only thing he enjoys doing is humping everything he sees, give me a call. Again, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. And the question of the day is, I know, and I'm assuming you guys also know, and by the way, if you want to watch the show on YouTube, you can, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. How does your dog or cat let you know what they want? Do they write you a note? Do they send you an email? My God, if they had a thumb, my guys would text me. How do your dogs and cats let you know what they want? When they're hungry, when they want to play, when they want to be by themselves, when they want to go outside. How do your dog and cats let you know? Do they whine? Do they cry? Do they bark? I've had dogs that came over and just whacked me around with their paw, letting me know what they want. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you in terms of how your dog or cat let you know really what they want, even if it's just affection. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get to it. And I just want to start out by saying this before I get to some calls. You guys are pretty amazing. I've been talking to you guys here in Southern California for 42 years, and you never cease to amaze me. A couple of months ago, I told you I needed some help with my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. That's my own 501c3 nonprofit organization that raises money We stay broke. We never keep money in the bank. We raise money, and we send that money directly to organizations around the country that you've never heard of, that most people have never heard about, that are in dire straits trying to save animals, but maybe they have 50 cents in the bank. Those are the groups that I try to help. So let me just share this with you, and then I'll get to your calls. Again, if you want to call me here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Mimi, Deborah, Linda will get to your calls in just a second. Received this letter just yesterday. Actually, Denise received it because she's in charge of the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. This was from the Lake Traverse Animal Rescue. Lake Traverse Animal Rescue. Where are they located? They're located in South Dakota. Actually, Eastman Road, Sissiston, South Dakota. Now, why does the name Sissiston? It's Sisseton, because that's a Native American reservation. I have long been tried to help as many rescue dogs or get dogs off the reservations as much as I possibly can. And we helped them out. We sent them some money, and we will continue to work hand in hand with the community and the tribal authorities, which is not always the easiest thing to do in our rescue efforts. And I wanted to thank my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund for donating. You know, they may get $1 here or $10 here, but we sent them a substantial amount of money. Not me, you, thanks to your guys' donation. So if you want to help me with more organizations like this around the country, and there are literally thousands, check out hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. That's my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. .org, where every penny, not one bit of expense is taken out, every penny goes directly to help the animals. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. I have Lucy Pet Food. I got my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats, copies of my best-selling books, either dog or cat, some amazing hemp seed oil from Nature Vet, kitty lickies, which cats absolutely go crazy over, those amazing t-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright, and some pretty amazing hemp seed products as well. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live on the air will get one of those fabulous gifts for their dog or cat. Again, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Now, let me take a quick break, because if I don't, Alex will throw something at me. When I come back, Mimi, Deborah, Linda, great time to give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. Now, for over 5 years now, literally over 5 years, every single week, you hear me talk about Lucy Pet Food and why I'm such A dog named Gomez. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. The question of the day is pretty simple. How does your dog or cat let you know what they want? What do? They send you a text, an email, they call you. How does your dog or cat let you know when they want to eat, when they want to go out, when they want to play? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. We got Mimi, Deborah, Linda, David. Let me start out with Mimi in Marina Del Rey. Hi, Mimi. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, just like you're next to me. How can I help you, Mimi?
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, my dog has started about a month ago. He started crying. He's not really exactly barking. He's whining. When I leave the house, even for an hour. And so I got him a kennel, and I put him in the kennel, and then the problem, who hears it is my neighbor, who it upsets her because she texts me and says, Mimi, your dog is in distress.
All right, so let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, okay? First of all, what type of dog is it, and how old is the dog, and where did the dog come from?
The dog is a rescue. He's 6. I had his DNA done, and he's 1/2 Pomeranian, 1/4 Chihuahua, and 1/4 miniature poodle.
And you've had him how long now? I've had
him for 5 years, but the one other thing is my husband died last summer.
Okay, and when did this crying start? Just recently?
Yeah, only about a month ago.
Now, I'm sorry to hear about your husband. Before your husband passed away, was he home with the dog a lot?
Yes.
Okay, so now the dog's obviously suffering from a little bit of a separation. So who advised you? The dog's never been in a crate before. He started whining because he's stressed out. And who was the genius that told you to put him in a cage?
Well, when my husband was alive, we had a crate next to our bed, and he would go in there and sleep, and he loved it. He would go in and sleep, and after my husband died, I threw the crate away, and he sleeps in the bed with me. But I figured, this will make him feel more secure.
Listen, I have no qualms. If you want to have a crate in the house, leave the door open. If the dog is already stressed out, when a person is stressed out or an animal is stressed out and you confine them, generally they get more stressed out if they're not used to it. There are some dogs that do absolutely fine in crates. Now, in terms of the whining or the crying, and this is really important. I don't know your neighbor. I know a lot of people in the marina. Is the dog crying for 5 minutes? 10 minutes, a half hour, 2 hours? How long is the dog actually crying? And if you're just taking your neighbor's word on it, I don't know your neighbor again. What I would also try to do is leave the house and want you to listen from somewhere to see exactly how long it's going on. So how long does it appear to be going on when you leave?
I do not know really,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, because I'm saying some people are upset if a dog whines or cries for 5 minutes, and other people, understandably, if the dog's doing it for a half hour. One of the things I would really be doing at this point is going in and out of the house. In and out of the house, 5 minutes out, 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out, 5 minutes in. I would leave a radio on before you leave. I would make sure before you leave the house, you go for a pretty good walk to tucker them out. Tired dogs sleep. They're less apt to whine. When he's whining, sometimes the worst thing you can do is go there and say, shh, be quiet, because what you're doing is you're reacting to the fact that he's whining and reinforcing that habit. Not a great idea. So I think in your scenario, what you need to do, and I'm sure he's still grieving over the loss of your husband. I mean, dogs grieve for long periods of time. But what I would do is recommend going out, coming back in, going out and coming back in. But before you make any changes, like put him in a cage or anything like that, what I'd like you to do is I want you to leave the house, go all the way down the hallway, be as quiet as you possibly can, and then I want you to call me back and tell me how long the dog is crying. If it's 5 minutes, that's normal. Even if it's 10 minutes, that's normal. If it's a half hour, that's a whole different ballgame. The dog's in distress. So that's what I need to find out. And that's what you need to find out as well. Is the dog just crying because he's upset that you left, or is he really, really stressed out? When you come home, does he seem drooly? Does he seem stressed out? What is it like when you come back in?
I must say that, one time I came home before I got the crate, and he was pacey, and he looked very stressed out, and he was crying. But since I've gotten the crate, he I never heard him crying when I walked in the door. So.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep the crate if you want, but leave the door open. Let him have the option. He can either go in or he can't go in. The other thing you may want to do in the crate, if he's comfortable in there, is take an article unwashed of your clothing and put it in the crate before you leave.
Great idea.
So if you put all those pieces together, I mean, there are so many things I can do here, but I really want to find out if there's a problem. If he's crying for 5 or 10 minutes, it's not a problem. So it may be a neighbor problem versus your problem. How's that sound?
Okay, that's fantastic, helpful.
Well,
thank you so much.
Oh, no, listen. You're in my favorite neighborhood. I always hang out at Tony P's. That's my favorite restaurant.
Yeah,
in the
Tony
world.
P's. We're in the Century. I'm a friend of Joan Rakely. She recommended I call you. And
you have smart friends. You have a smart. But Tony P's been a good friend for many years. We used to ride motorcycles together. So anyway, listen, Mimi, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold, and the lovely Suzette is going to pick up on the your line, and we are going to send you for your dog. I'm trying to think of what I want to send you. You know what? I'm going to send you some hemp seed calming oil. Just some hemp seed calming oil from my friends over at Nature Vet, and I appreciate that phone call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Here's the deal. The phones are full. I got Deborah, I got Linda, I got David, I got Suzanne, I got Dixie. Be patient with me. Don't go anywhere. I will get to all your calls. If I have to cut out all of my topics, I promise I will get to all your calls. So hang in there. I'm going to take a break in a second and I'll get back to you. But before I do that, kind of what we were just talking about with Mimi, by talking to your pets and giving them the attention they crave, they'll be a lot more likely to talk back to you, barking or meowing to get your attention, to tell you how they feel. But while this is great for the most part, sometimes animals can become a little too vocal. So what often happens is once you've created the problem, and yes, you've created the problem, and the dog starts barking or whining, and you go, knock it off, be quiet, and start yelling or whatever you do, wait till that, whatever you do, in reality, what you're doing is reinforcing the dog's behavior. He just assumes you're joining his group and just joining in with the barking or the whining. So that's why I say, and you heard me say to Mimi, sometimes, and I've been doing this for a few weeks, especially when I lived in New York City. You never know by my accent, but I lived there for many years, and the apartments can be pretty close there. And a lot of times it was not that there was a problem with the dog or the cat next door. It was just that the neighbor did not like the neighbor next door, or didn't get along with the neighbor next door, or was a little too sensitive. So those are things you have to take into consideration as well. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, Deborah, Linda, David, Suzanne, Dixie, got lots of great stuff for you. Hugs and Kisses supplements, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, books, T-shirts, so don't go anywhere. 866-870-5752. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Our phones are jam-packed. I'm going to give the show to you guys. If I don't get to my topics, that's okay. Excuse me. But let me go up. Let me just go first to Suzanne in Burbank. Then we'll go to Deborah. We got Linda, David, and Dixie. Suzanne in Burbank. Welcome to the show. Hey, Suzanne.
Hi, Warren. It's Susie, Cookie's mom.
Oh, hi, Susie. How you doing? How's Cookie?
Cookie's good. I'm calling in to answer the question of the day.
Yeah, how does Cookie? I did a TV segment years and years and years ago, and I met Susie and I met Cookie on that where I went to the house and resolved issues, not with the dog, but with the people. Anyway, Susie. So you want to answer my question? So how does Cookie let you know she wants something?
Well, when she wants something, it's usually I know what she wants now. I've figured it out. But we'll be sitting on the couch watching television or just sitting on the couch. She'll walk in the living room and just stand and stare. She won't budge. She doesn't paw. She doesn't whine or bark. She just stares you down. And it's like, what do you want? And she'll stand there for like 5-10 minutes if you let her. She just stares. And 9 times out of 10, she wants her toys rotated. I've figured it out. So she wants me to get up and rotate her toys like you tell us to do, which works great. And then she's happy. That's all she wanted.
See, it's amazing. But see, so many people, my listeners are, but a lot of people are not in tune with what their dogs or cats are asking. But once you figure it out, the relationship's even better. So in other words, I like the fact that she stares at you. I mean, and they have that stare sometimes. That's absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's a stare. It's like, what do you want? She just she barely blinks. She just stares like, you know what I want. Get off the couch and go rotate
That's
my
right.
toys.
And you better do it now.
Exactly. And she doesn't do it to my husband because she knows he won't get up. She stares me down because she knows I'm the one
I should have
who's
asked this question. Is there one member in the family that's really a pushover for the dog? There's always one. And that causes more problems because one person's consistent and the other person says, whatever the dog wants, I'm going to give in and get to him. And that's when I have to call me and say,
exactly.
The dog's acting
You've been
crazy.
to our house.
Yes, I know. Anyway, Susie, thank you. Thank you so much. Give a Cookie a big hug. I know it says I'm going to donate your gift to Humane Society. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Okay, great. We'd love to see you.
Have
Take
a great
care.
one. All right, bye
You
now.
too.
I went to her house, God, many years ago. I was doing a segment for, I think it was a Viacom, whatever it was, and I would go to, they'd send me to people's houses I've never seen. I've never met them. I don't know them. I'm not aware of the problems, and I'd go there and resolve the issues, and we stayed friends all these years. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away, but right now, let's go to Deborah in Santa Maria. Hey, Deborah, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you for taking my call.
My joy. What's up?
I'm just having a hard time. Well, I have a dog that I just rescued about 2.5 months ago. She's a little pit bull. She's 3 years old. And I'm having problems with marking.
Marking a specific area in the house or many different areas in the house? Where is she actually marking?
She's marking more in the bedrooms, but I've been having problems with her actually, at friends' house marking too. But one particular one was she came and stayed with her dog in my spare bedroom. No dog is marked there. And when they left, she went in there and peed in that room.
Well, let me ask you a question. You rescued this dog, and bless you for doing it, a couple of months ago. Someone else came to your house with their dog, stayed in a room in your house with their dog, no marking on their dog's part. Your dog probably came from a shelter or rescue. I don't know his background. Do you?
Yes, they found this dog wandering in an orchard.
Okay, so this dog
was really thin.
Okay, so this dog was surviving on its own, trying to make every day count and live. Comes into an environment like yours where he gets 3 square meals a day. He's being loved and cared for the first time in his life. And all of a sudden, a competitor comes into the house. So what does your dog do? He's not going to go over there and put up a sign, stay out. He's going to go over there and mark that territory. That's what dogs do. So the first thing I want you to do, number one, is whenever you introduce a dog that may be coming into your home, introduce them outside of the environment first. Let them get to know each other first. That'll help eliminate some of the territorial response on your dog's part. What I want you to do is in the bedrooms, does the dog sleep in the bedrooms with you?
No, the dog sleeps in the living room in a crate that's open, but in the morning she comes in and jumps on the bed and sleeps with me. I should say that dog she had met before.
But it was still another dog. It's like another guy going into my garage. It could be my best friend, but he's not playing with my tools. So the thing I'm trying to get to here is the fact that you have this dog just for a couple of months. The dog was wandering. We don't know how long she was out on the street trying to survive. Mm-hmm. She comes to a place where she's comfortable, and now she's being a little territorial. I totally understand that, but I don't want her peeing all over the house. So what I would try to do is spend as much time with her in the rooms where she's peed in the past. So, for example, spend more time with her in the bedroom where that other dog was. Spend more time with her in your bedroom before you go to sleep. If she wants to sleep in your bedroom, it's up to you. But the more time she spends in an area, the less apt the need to be territorial and get that area. The other thing I want you to also try to do is clean up the areas with a good stain and odor remover made specifically for dogs. Right. Find out all the areas where she peed. Spend more time with her. Even if you have to get on the floor where she peed after you've cleaned it up, spend time with her in that area, play with her toys in that area, put a couple of pieces of her dry food in that area. She will get the idea, and in no time at all, this will be fine. She's still adjusting. It's only been a couple of months, and God knows how long she went through other things in her life, or she didn't get enough food, or she was challenged by other dogs. So I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, more time in the areas where she peed, less need for her to want to pee in those areas. Piece of cake. I'm sure it's going to work just fine for you.
Let me ask you, when she goes to other people's houses, she will go in their other rooms and pee.
Well, first of all, she shouldn't be She should not have loose run in other people's homes. She's a street dog. She's been out on the street. She's been peeing all over to survive and mark territories when she was roaming in the orchard. So the bottom line is, you bring her to a new area, the first thing she's going to want to do is claim territory. So take her outside. Let her pee herself where there's no pee left. Keep her on a leash. Keep her on a harness in the home till she really gets to know. But bringing her to a new home, even well-behaved dogs that are totally housebroken, occasionally, if you take them to a home they're not really familiar with, they're going to want to mark territory, especially if there's another dog there.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And bless you for adopting her. Bless you for adopting her.
She is the best dog in the world. She's only 47 pounds, and she loves all dogs and all people.
What's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
Her name is Bug.
Bug. I love that name, Bug. Bug.
She's like a little cuddle bug.
Yeah, you call her Buggy, don't you?
I do call her Buggy.
I figured you would. Anyway, listen, don't go in there. I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette's going to pick up. And because you're such a lovely lady, I'm going to send you one of my best items. I'm going to send you a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your Buggy. We're going to get to you, Linda, I promise. We're going to get to you, Deborah, I promise. No, we got to Deborah. We'll get to you, Linda. We'll get to you, David. We'll get to you, Dixie. I do have a line or two open. Pretty rare. Great time to give me a call. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. Before I go to the commercial break, take it easy, Alex. Calm down. Let's do this. You know, every once in a while I come across really what I consider stupid advice on the internet. Here was one I saw just the other day. Never disturb your puppy while eating. Puppies should be left alone during mealtime. When children approach a puppy's food bowl, pet the puppy while eating, or stick their fingers in the food bowl, that can cause a puppy to start resource guarding her food. The fact that no one's going near the food is going to cause the puppy to resource guard the food. If you're bringing a new puppy into the household, the first thing you want to do is make sure that there is no possessiveness over food. What I want you to do is feed the puppy out of 1, 2, even 3 little dishes, not more food. Let people be around when she's eating, but not taking her food. Let her associate people with feeding her. Let her associate people with eating, but putting down a couple of dishes or 3 dishes at one time will prevent that problem from happening. But by keeping everyone away from the dog, dog, you're actually putting the dog on guard that when someone does come, I better react. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. I got hugs and kisses to give away, Orthrosuit Gold, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies. I'm going to do a commercial right now. Cats go crazy for Kitty Lickies. Copies of my best-selling books, T-shirt, hemp seed oil. So it's a great time to give me a call. The phone number here, again, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Plenty of time for your calls. I do have an open line or two. Great time to call me. Remember, everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me will get a great gift. Even if you want to just answer my question, how does your dog or cat let you know what they want? Do they let you know when they want to go outside, when they want to eat, when they want to sleep, when they want to play? How does your dog or cat let you know what they want to do? 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still coming up on today's show, we're going to take a real close look at how you can help more animals. Not everyone can do fostering. Not everyone can donate money, but there are other things you can do. I'll share that with you. Also coming up, how a dog changes the way people see you. Great time to give me a call. Lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-5752 if you have a question or comment about your pet. All right, now let me go to Linda in West Covina. Then we got Dixie and David. Hey, Linda, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren.
How are you today, Linda?
I have a Cocker Spaniel that's very rowdy. He's just gorgeous, but he's extremely rowdy. And I had to move out of my house because I had mold and lead in the kitchen. The whole kitchen had to be removed. I lost a part of my living room, and I have roof damage, so I'm not able to stay here. But he's been staying here. A neighbor's been taking care of him, and I come maybe 2-3 days a week to visit him. But he's getting rowdier and rowdier. We used to live here and take care of him and be with him and have fun with him. But now my friend passed away, and I can't come here 6-7 days a week.
Why can't first of all, I'm not thrilled about the dog staying in an environment that has mold and other things there. It affects the dog even worse than.
It's been taken out.
Okay.
It's all been removed.
So where are you where you can't bring your dog with you?
He'll jump the fence.
Well, can't you keep him inside and walk him on a leash and a harness when you take him outside? I mean, the dog's being separated from you 5-6 days a week is not healthy for the dog, and I'm sure it's not healthy for you. I'm sure the dog is feeling. I'm sure the dog is feeling abandoned.
No. I had 4 rescue dogs. I got them adopted. I've got medical problems and personal problems.
Okay, but let me just see if I want to make sure I understand you. You have this Cocker Spaniel. You lived in the home with this Cocker Spaniel. The home got mold or whatever it got. Right. You moved out of the home, but the dog after they cleaned it up, but the dog stayed in the home. So the dog that was living with you in that home is now living by himself in that home with someone that was taking care of him that passed away. Do I have that right?
Right, and my neighbor does help.
Okay, so why again why isn't the dog with you? That's my question.
Because he's very energetic and he can jump the fence, and I have.
Well, how about training him? How about some behavior? What's going to happen to this dog? What's the ultimate goal for this dog?
I had an adoption agency that was going to take him, but I was concerned about maybe his behavior, like you were talking about, these dogs that have been returned. And I'm afraid because of how he's now behaving, he was always kind of rowdy, but now...
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault. I want to help you, but it's not the dog's fault. The dog went from a situation where he was... So you need to get this dog into a home where someone can focus on resolving the issues that he has. If those issues are resolved, it's going to be a whole lot easier to find him that forever home. I have a story here about a dog. Where is it? Right here. This dog was adopted 14 times from a North Carolina rescue. 14. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. But the bottom line is it's not the dog's fault. So it's not your fault here. I understand you had the scenario. It's nobody's fault. But my concern, and I love you, but my concern is for the dog. If this dog is in that situation and his behavior is getting worse, it's just going to make it more difficult for him to get adopted. And when he does get adopted, if that behavior is still there, then he's going to wind up back at a rescue, back at a shelter, adopted out again if the problem's not resolved, and ultimately I don't have to tell you what happens. So the bottom line is, from my heart to you, please let's find him a way where he's in a home with people and he's getting that socialization every day. He's getting that training. He's getting that behavior. The issues you're having, whether he's rowdy, the word rowdy to me means he needs a little basic training. He needs some calming down. Doesn't mean he's Cujo. That's what we need to be. My heart breaks for you, but my heart breaks. We need to find either where you are, he has to come there, or you need to find a foster home that can really focus on his behavior at this point, Linda.
Okay.
Does that help you at all? I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you.
Well, the people have been going. I was going to take him to the adoption place, and every time I try to get him in the carrier, he starts like nipping and.
Well, there you go. That's my point. If you don't resolve those problems, this poor dog's going to wind up in a whole situation. Try to find him a home. If you find him a foster home, have them call me. I'll help you resolve the issues. In the meantime, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm sending you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. But again, this is not a dog problem. This is a human problem. This dog has some issues, easily resolved. Why should he have to go from home to home to home when he can be? We can resolve those issues, and he can find that permanent home where he's loved forever. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. David, what I'm going to do, David, Dixie, and JD, I don't want to rush you guys, so let me just hold you over. We're going to take a break at the top of the hour just for a couple of minutes. You'll be my first three calls when we come back. Got great gifts for you as well. David, I definitely want to help you in Montrose with your cat, Dixie in Redondo Beach, with your rescue dog having issues with other dogs, and JD calling from Philadelphia. I don't know what her situation is yet, but we'll get to it. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. You know, everyone wants to help a dog or cat in need, but many are not sure of how to get involved or even where to start, take it from a fellow dog lover and dog rescuer like me. All dog rescue groups need manpower. Donations to rescue groups are wonderful. They really are, but groups need boots on the ground to assist in transporting and fostering. Here's some of the ways you can help. You can help shelters by transporting animals. You can help out by fostering a shelter rescue dog or cat. You can volunteer at your local shelter. Donate items to your local shelter. Help by taking photos of adoptable pets. Network shelter animals on social media. You can make a difference. A lot of people, well, what can I do? I can't foster. I can't do this. There's many, many things you can do. As I just said, you can shelter, you can drive, you can volunteer, you can go on social media, you can take photos. So if everyone out there just did a little bit to help the animals out there, what a difference we can make in finding all of them homes. And that's what we really want to do. So just because you make a donation, and bless you for doing that, we love you. That's great. And we want you to keep making those donations. But at the same time, remember that there's so many other things you can do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a whole other hour to go. Let me give you a phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, back to your calls. Everyone that calls and gets a great gift for their dog or cat. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show.
To stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. He sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And if you love your dogs and cats and want to find out why they behave the way they do, if they have issues or problems, they're jumping, they're barking too much, they're not housebroken, poor guys suffering with separation anxiety, your cat peed on your bed, scratched your favorite chair, dog doesn't like your new boyfriend. That's what the Pet Show's been doing for the last 42 years and will continue to do, is helping you resolve any issues you may be having with your dogs and cats, or more likely any issues your dog or cats may be having with you. Let's face it, it's not easy with living with human beings. Plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away. The question of the day, even if you just want to answer it, I'll send you a great gift. How does your dog or how does your cat let you know what they want? When they want to go to sleep, when they want to eat, when they want to play? Do they take their paw? Do they bark? Do they roll over? Do they jump on you? How do your dogs and cats communicate to you that they want something, and do you understand it? Great time to give me a call. Everyone that calls in will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. If you're new to the show, we're not giving away milk bones here. Many of the items are worth $40-$50. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me take a couple of calls. Before I do that, if you were listening to that last call, and I talked about this, a dog dubbed unlucky after 14 failed adoptions finally found good luck and forever a family to love him. 64-pound puppy Ronald has found his family after he was returned to the shelter following 14 pending adoptions, according to the SPCA of Wake County in North Carolina. The shelter welcomed Ronald into its care on December 7, 2022 as a transfer pup from a nearby place, and he finally has, after 14 times, he finally has his forever home. Hats off to you, Rodney. Good luck. I'm sure you'll make someone a best friend. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me get back to the phone lines here. We're going to go to David, Dixie, JD, and another David as well. But right now it's David in Montrose. Hey, David, welcome to the Pet Show.
Good morning, Mr. Warren Eckstein. I'm not in Montrose. I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm from Montrose.
Okay, great. Well, as long as you have a pet question, I'll take it.
I have many pet questions. I have a nebula of questions, but I wanted to stick with what I'm proposing. But I'm not going to be able to maintain this cat for long. It's indefinite, and I've had this cat since September of 2021. And this cat it's a decidedly aggressive cat, and I'm going to part ways with it, and I'm going to, give it to good hands. But I don't know if they're going to be able to tolerate the way the cat is.
You've had the cat for how long now?
Since September 2021. And what
have you tried to do, if anything, to resolve the aggressive issues with the cat?
Well, that's just it. I'm a single man, and I don't have people that are watching over the cat. I only watch over it, and it comes and goes as it pleases. I let it go in and out of the house because I can't monitor the door, so it can go in and out as it pleases, and it works along that system. And it plays rough with me. He grabs my arm and scratches on it, and he scratches on furniture, but I don't care about my furniture right now, and it's not he doesn't leave it in tatters, but he scratches on it, and other people wouldn't tolerate that, and I don't know.
So if other people wouldn't tolerate it, what do you think the outcome is going to be for this cat?
He's going to get punished a lot.
What do you mean punished a lot? No, who's going to keep him?
Well, when people can't tolerate a certain thing, they shun the
If
animal.
people can't tolerate behavior with an animal, the resolution is to resolve that behavior and get that behavior under control. That's the way to handle it.
That's true.
Okay.
I trust that they're that smart as you're saying.
It's not a matter of being smart, as I'm saying. My concern is this cat's been doing this for a long period of time. And bless you for taking care of him, but you've done nothing to help resolve the aggressive issue. If anything, by not doing anything to resolve it, it's actually probably became more in depth for the cat. So what you're going to have to do?
It gets excited. When it gets excited, it gets aggressive. When it gets
it's not a matter of excited. It's a matter of this cat is not receiving any type of formal socializing. The cat's not receiving any type of education. It's not receiving the type of things that a cat needs. And if the cat is not getting mental stimulation and physical stimulation, chances are he's not going to behave any different, or she's not going to behave any different than a human being. So here's my reason. I would try, if I were you, I would go online. I would speak to all the cat rescues you have. They're all inundated with cats at this point. My gut reaction says to me, if this cat goes somewhere, it's not going to make it because it has the issues that no one's resolved. And I'm not blaming you. I know you tried, may not have the knowledge to do it. But the only option you have right now is to get online, make some phone calls, find a cat rescue that's willing to work with you. That's what you need to do. Because other than that, it's not going to get better because you're not doing anything. And I'm not a downer on you, but you're not doing anything to make it better. You're letting the cat behave the way it's been behaving for a long period of time, which is only going to make the habit go. The longer you smoke, the worse it is to quit. So I think you go ahead.
When I have to part with this cat, Warren, you're saying that your prognosis is not very positive for this cat if it goes into other people's.
My prognosis for the cat is absolutely fabulous if you find someone that's going to be willing to work with the cat. You have to find a group or an individual that's going to be willing to work with the cat. This is not the cat's problem. This is a problem we've created by not doing anything to resolve the issues the cat is having. In no way am I blaming the cat for his behavior, and I'm not really blaming you.
There's a lot of goodwill people who would have it appear that I'm at fault for not doing better than I'm doing. And
it's not a matter of this. Listen. Listen to me really, really closely. At this point, I don't care if you're at fault or not. I assume you're not because you've taken care of this cat. So it's not a matter of who's at fault. The bottom line in my heart is what can we do to help the cat? You'll be fine. What can we do to help the cat? You need to work with some of the rescues. Maybe they have someone that they work with that's really good at rehabilitating. Aggressive behavior in a cat can be resolved. Take it from someone who wrote the best-selling books on cat behavior. It can be resolved, but it needs someone to make that commitment. Obviously, you, for whatever reason, can't make that commitment now. So the only thing I can tell you is to go online, go to my website, check out all the cat rescues, call everyone, get there, find a group that's willing to work. If you can make a donation, donate a few bucks to them, see if they're willing to work, because the end result is I'm not concerned about you. I'm concerned about the cat. There's no reason that this cat should wind up in horrid situations, because the problems you're telling me can easily be resolved if someone were just taking the time to resolve them. So that would be my point. I mean, I would send you a book or something, but it doesn't pay because you're not going to keep the cat. So you need to find someone that's going to work with the cat, and that's going to make a big difference for you. I got to move on, but I don't know what else to tell you, David.
Okay, thank you very much for your input. I really appreciate it, and I thank you for everything you do.
But I want you to get online today. I want you to check with some people. I mean, if anyone out there has another idea for David, that's what we do on the Pet Show. Come on, share it with me. But the bottom line is I don't want the cat to be victimized based on the fact that the cat has not been given the opportunity to change its behavior. They can be rehabilitated. If I had $1, for every cat or dog that's been rehabilitated, not only by me, but by people I've trained or people involved with rescue. That's the bottom line. I'm getting off my bandwagon now. I got to take another phone call. Let me go to Philadelphia, and I'm going to go to you, Dixie. JD, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. I just want to say I've been an admirer of yours for decades.
Well,
and
thank you.
You and thank you. And you actually literally changed my life. I don't say that lightly. It's not hyperbole, because I saw your book, How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want, in our local library, and I recommended that to countless people, and finally gotten to the point where it's like, you know what, they're not going to go check it out. I'm just going to get them a copy. So, and also the one about dogs. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to have a dog. I got a land leech, but that much aside, and the cat that I currently have is a rescue. I wasn't going to call in today, just going to listen like I usually do. And I thought, you know what? I heard what the topic was, and you said, how does your, pet communicate with you?
Yeah.
When it wants to do something? And I thought, oh my God, that's That's my issue. That's my topic. I got to call in. So here we are. And basically, I have a cat, and he's lovely. He's a rescue. I've had him since 2009, and he's just an incredible little being. And I guess I was having shades of, Dr. Doolittle. And I thought, let's take it to the next level because, he taught me how to take him out on the leash, he and you. And that being said, he's verbal. And so the thing is, but he has 5 different things, times that he comes, and sometimes I get a little testy with him. But if I stop and dial back, usually I can figure out what it is. Like just now, while I was waiting, he wanted to be fed, and he was just so adamant about it. And if I didn't put down more foot, just so we're on the same page, he got fed around 7:30, right? And 2009, he was a year old. So how old is he? Like 13 years old. So to make a long story, I thought, fine, I'll just feed him. But I would like to follow your salient with cheesesteak. No can do.
No, I don't need cheesesteak. Cheesesteak is not part of my diet. But definitely, they want to go to sleep, if they want to go out, if they want to be left alone, give me a call and let me know. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5. So it's important to understand, and nothing wrong with them. The guy did what he could do. But what we need to understand is that if we have a pet with a problem, problems can be resolved. If you resolve the problems, fabulous for you in the relationship between you and your pet. But if you don't resolve the problems and wind up the pet going somewhere else with the same issues, I don't have to tell you the rest of the story. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Dixie, I know you've been holding on for a long time. I'm going to get to your call. The phones are jamming up. I'll get to all your calls. But right now, once again, I want to tell you about my good friends over at Here, kitty. We are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. We'll get to all your phone calls. I see that David in Montrose called back. He's a little upset with me that I didn't send him a gift. I'm going to put David, I'm putting you on hold. And the lovely Suzette will pick up. And Suzette, send David some kitty lickies. I didn't send him a gift. I didn't think he wanted when he was giving up the cat. But anyway, some kitty lickies on its way to you, David. Sorry I upset you. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. We're going to get to Daniel in Oxnard. We're going to get to David in Irvine. We're going to get to Josie in Lakewood. We're going to get to Dixie in Redondo Beach right now. Hey, Dixie, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, Warren, how are you?
I could not be better. How's everything in beautiful Redondo Beach today?
Everything's good. It's a beautiful day.
It's always a beautiful day.
I appreciate your advice so much, and I promise I won't have a call like the cat call. I adopted this sweet little girl about 6 weeks ago from the German Shepherd Rescue, Westside German Shepherd Rescue.
My good friends over at Westside German Shepherd Rescue. I adopted a dog from there. My nephews adopted a dog from there. Great organization.
They're really nice, and they pulled this little girl out of the Downey shelter. She was on her last day, okay? And I don't know much of her history except that she went into the Downey the Downey shelter as a stray, and she was adopted once, and they brought her back because she didn't get along with their dog. So I've heard this. I've gotten her. I've had her for 6 weeks. She is so mellow. She is so nice. She's the sweetest girl. She's fine when we're on a leash and walking. We walk every day. She's met the neighborhood dogs. She's not aggressive. In fact, she might be a little on the timid side. And I'm still getting to know her. But I had a couple of encounters where a friend came over with her dog, a lab golden mix, and they got into it. No biting, just lots of noise and sounded scary. Then another friend came over, and we had her dog on the leash. Mine was loose. She doesn't go after dogs, but when that dog tried to come near me, and I know that dog, the lab, she tried to come and greet me, my new dog went nuts.
Okay.
And so I think she's protecting me and all that stuff. I'd like to know a good way to introduce her to other dogs. And
absolutely. We're gonna go over that first pet psychology.
Maybe she doesn't really like other dogs. I don't know.
I don't think that's the part. You said to me, I'm assuming it's a German Shepherd, correct?
No, she's not. She's a small 30-pound dog.
Oh, okay, great.
She's like a border collie, maybe Australian
Shepherd. But she was a stray.
She's not a German Shepherd.
She was a stray on the street, right?
She came in as a stray. Yes.
Okay, so she came in as a stray. We don't know any background on her. We don't know how many things or how many times she was challenged on the street by other dogs. Again, it's a similar situation. She finds a home like yours where she's being loved and probably cared for the first time in her life. And therefore, she's becoming a little protective and possessive, which is understandable. So what I would recommend at this point is when you introduce her to other dogs, introduce them on neutral territory, away from your home. Then once they get to know each other down the block or at a park or whatever, then you can bring the two of them to your house, take them off the leash, and let them run loose in the backyard. But right now, when a dog comes to her territory where she's living, that's what she's focused on. If she gets to know the other dog on neutral territory where there's so many different other smells and other things going on, they're not so focused on each other, start to accept each other for the most part, and then you can bring them to your home and give them the opportunity to play. Just make sure that every time she's with another dog, the end result is positive. But the more time you spend walking her with other dogs on neutral territory, the more bonding that will take place, and some good basic training at this point, but in a very gentle way. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care if it's Westside German Shepherd. I don't care who. No spike collars, no prong collars, no electronic shock collars, no submissive behavior. No. This is a dog that, if anything, needs confidence. And to build up confidence with your basic training, That's the way to do it, because if you're training your dog, you're setting your dog up for success, because you're educating her at the same time. She's hearing, what a good dog, what a good dog. You did a great job.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
So by making the dog or setting the dog up, I just did a whole video on my YouTube channel. I'll give you that info later. But right now, the most important thing is short periods of time in training, neutral territory with other dogs, tremendous amount of praise. And even if she's not doing it, if she's just lying around, go over to her and say, good dog, you're going to be fine. This dog's going to turn out to be the best dog you ever had. No doubt in my mind, Dixie.
Oh, she's great already. She's 100% housebroken. She's mellow. I know she's had a good home at some point. Her coat is good. I have a feeling she might have lived with an older person.
But there was no microchip, no chipper. I'm sure Westside chipped there. There's no chip or anything.
There was not a chip, and she was not spayed.
Well, I'm so glad,
so
Dixie. I'm so glad that she found a home as wonderful as yours. I mean, I wish they could all find these homes. You know, I was talking.
She's a sweetie.
I was talking the other day, and someone said to me, Warren, what's the most? I think I said this before. The most dogs you had at one time? At 30. And every dog I had, when I rescued these 30 dogs, I got to be honest with you, it was not easy. I bought this place in upstate New York for $29,000. It has 5 acres. You can imagine what it looked like. Was built in 1802. But every dog I rescued came from a situation where someone gave that dog up because the dog was, on their mind, either too assertive or was this or was that. But if you do and I'm not sounding egotistical, I don't want to sound like a San Francisco of Assisi, but if you take the time to figure out why the behavior is there, it makes it a lot easier to resolve. The problem is so many trainers out there and so many people in the field of behavior, what they want to do right off the bat is resolve the problem without figuring out what caused it. And the best way to resolve a problem, long-lasting wise, is to figure out what caused it in the first place. Anyway, bless you for doing it, Dixie. I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to speak to the lovely Suzette, and I am going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. Follow the basics in there. A lot of positive training. Make it enjoyable for the dog. A good teacher makes learning a whole lot better and a whole lot easier. The phones are jam-packed. I'm going to get to Daniel, David, Marcia, Josie, Jerome. I promise. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. But you all know my engineer, Alex. He's really a nice guy, except when he yells at me and says, you better go to commercial. It's about time, Warren. So let me take a break. When we come back, we'll get to all your calls. The phones are jamming, and we'll resolve some issues for you. I hope. By the way, I hope I hear some more about how your dogs and cats will let you know what they want. And I hope this helps some people out there. I shared it before in terms of if you want to get involved with helping animals, you don't know what to do. Let me just go through the list again. You can help shelters by transporting animals, fostering a shelter animal, volunteer at a local shelter, donate items to a local shelter, taking photos of adoptable pets, sharing network on social media, network shelter pets can make all the difference to the animals that need a home. And bless you all out there that work in Rescue and Humane for the absolutely amazing work that you guys do every single day. A quick break, then right back to all of your calls. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. A couple things. I posted this on my my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. I'll give you those in a second. And it was a great article entitled, "Is it normal to love your pet more than your kids? Is it normal to love your pet more than your kids?" It's kind of an interesting read. You can check it out. You can go to, well, here's my new Facebook page, okay? Go to it. I'm sharing a lot of stuff there. You know, I was hacked, thousands and thousands of people, but I'm sharing a lot of information on my new Facebook page. Here it is. Facebook.com/Warren Eck, E-C-K. Forget the rest of my name. It's Facebook.com/Warren Eck. Join me there. I'll accept your friendship, and I do share a lot of information. Also, if you're not following me or if you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel, if you love animals, that's where you should be. There are literally tips going up there every single day. Some are short tips, some are long tips, and I'm actually answering your questions as well. If you go to my website, thepetshow.com, you'll see Ask Warren a Question. Do I answer them all? Absolutely not. There's no way I could, but every once in a while I jump on and answer a few questions. So check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, it's free. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein, YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, and I share a lot of stuff there, this is my brand new Facebook page, Facebook.com/Warren E-C-K, Facebook.com/Warren Eck. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines here, and let me see where we're going. Well, so many great calls here. I don't know where I was. Let's go to Lakewood. She's been holding on forever. Hey, Josie. Welcome to the show, Josie.
Warren.
How are you?
How's it going?
I'm doing great. How about you today?
I am doing really good. You had asked about how our animals talk to us, and, you know, I have two sisters. They're two kitties. They're 2 years old, and they bring me toys, and they both have their own little language, but they drop them in front of me because they like me to throw them, and then they fetch them and bring them back. And one will make these little noises like wah, 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 and the other one whines. Does this like really high-pitched whine, and they're letting me know that their toys are there. Hey, throw them.
Yeah, get off the couch, Mom. Let's play here. A little bit of playtime. Yeah.
Well, I'm working, you know, so I work from home. But the other question I had is, you know, we had a neighborhood cat. I don't really know who she belongs to. We gave her snacks for about a year, and all of a sudden she got pregnant. She didn't see her for a couple months, and then like a week after Thanksgiving, she took her two little kittens and brought them into our backyard. And we just have like a small covered patio, and they have camped out there ever since. And of course I feed them. I can't not feed them. But I mean, oh my God, it just breaks my heart to have them outside. But I can't like just bring them in, and I don't know if they belong to somebody on the other block, you know.
Well, here's the first thing is to find out if they do belong to somebody else. And the best way to do that is have a conversation with the mailman.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with the UPS driver. They usually know which animals belong to which places. But the fact that they're kittens and then you're a place, it sounds to me like they've adopted you. So the concept is if you can't, I wish you could keep them, but if you can't keep them, you're going to have to.
They are so adorable.
Yeah. So here's a couple of things I want you to do. Did they use a litter box yet?
Yeah, we put a litter box out on them.
So they're using a litter box. You're feeding them food. Did you give them names?
Yes.
So what makes you think they're not your cats?
Huh?
What makes you think they're not yours?
Well, it just breaks my heart to have them outside because, you know, I know that there's like critters and things outside.
So bring them, even if you have to put them in the garage temporarily, you know, get yourself a large carrier, put some towels in there so they have the warmth that they need, and little by little, the more you, okay, and so they're not really freezing. But you want to bring them inside.
I mean, huh?
You want to bring them inside.
Well, you know, we have the two inside, and they're, you know, like kind of on the jealous side, right? You know, they're sisters, and they're kind of like looking at them, you know, cranking their little heads, looking at them out of the back window, you know, like, oh my God, what is that? And they see me go out the back door and feed them every morning and night, you know.
So what you need to do is do some scent swapping now. Do some scent swapping. Swap the scent between the kittens and the other cats. Listen, I'm not going to try to talk you into keeping 4 cats. You have 2 already. If you were me, you'd have no problem with 4. That's a start. But I do understand. So how old would you say these kittens are now?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. They might be like 4 months because they look like they were maybe 2 months when they came at Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking, they're maybe 4 months.
At that age, it might be a little easier to find them a home. If you really can't keep them and you're feeding them and you got them using a litter box, I would again work with some of the better cat rescues out there. As long as you can foster them till a home is found, I think that's exactly what these cat rescues need. So even though they may not be your cats, you're fostering them. You keep them warm. Keep them inside a garage or someplace else. There's just too many problems with coyotes and and I don't blame the coyotes. There's just too many people out there that let their cats and their small dogs. I mean, I live in Santa Monica. I hadn't seen a coyote here in 25 years. All of a sudden, there's one around the neighborhood every day. So you got to be really cautious about that.
Yeah, we took a like a big Rubbermaid 3-drawer container, and we flipped it, the middle drawer. We pulled the middle drawer out and flipped the top one. And then we put a pillow inside there and covered it.
But are they away from danger though? Are they in an area where coyotes and other animals can't get to them?
I haven't seen coyotes in my neighborhood, but I know that they're around because I live.
I would get them in a garage, a porch, a patio where the coyotes can't come. That's what you need to do right now.
Yeah.
And then contact.
Is it really hard to like meld the ones indoors with the ones outdoors?
No, if you're telling me you'll keep them if I help you. I will help you.
They're so cute. They are
okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. I want you to focus on the chapters on the first cat psychology. It's not going to happen overnight. You might have to have a glass of Chardonnay once in a while to mellow out. But if you follow my advice, they will get along with each other. So many of my listeners over the years have had 10 cats, 5 cats, 8 cats. I've had, never mind, but I've had my share of felines living with the Ecksteins. So the bottom line is, what I'm going to do is let me send you a copy of the book, work on it for a few weeks. Let me know how you're doing. But at the same time, what I would do is I would start contacting some of the rescue organizations, the better rescue organizations, let them know that you have them, you may keep them, but you're socializing them. So if the time comes in the next month or two, will you help finding permanent homes? So that's what I would do. So in fact, if you go to my website, thepetshow.com, you'll find a list of rescues in Southern California. So I would check that out as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, bless you for doing that. What
Warren.
a lovely what a lovely call. What a lovely lady you are, Josie. Well, by the way, where is Lakewood? Is that New Jersey? Come
on. You're funny.
I don't know where it is. Where is it?
I'm 5 minutes from the Long Beach Airport.
Oh, okay. So now I know it.
It's just connected to Long Beach. There's Long Beach, and then there's Lakewood right next to it.
Yeah, I've been here 25, 26 years. I still have no idea how to get around this thing. How can Sunset Boulevard be 150 miles long? How is that possible? I'm a New Yorker. See, New York. Now, listen, I'm a New Yorker. If you're on 5th Avenue, and the next street says 6th Avenue, and you want to go to 4th, you know you're going the wrong way. You just got to make a turn. I cannot figure out something. Anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette's going to pick up, and we're going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Okay, the phones are absolutely full. I'm going to try to get to as many calls as I can, but I want you all to remember this. You know, when I get off the air here at 1 o'clock, I begin my national and my Canadian show. The same type of show. I give away the same prizes. The topics are going to be similar, and my LA callers will be first. So I'll give you that number a little bit later. But let me take a quick break here, then right back to your phones. 866-870 KRLA, the phone number. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Gosh, where's this time going? I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'll take some more phone calls. And I'm going to give you the network number, too, can't get to, just in case I can't get to everyone. Certain countries now are banning, you know those glue traps they use for rats and mice? I think they're the most abusive things in the world. But now some countries are actually banning them. When I was working in New York, I worked at the #1 station there for many years, 18 years. WOR Radio was the top station there. It's owned by a different company now. And it was at 1440 Broadway, right across the street from where the ball drops on New Year's Eve. And I would spend my life there. Anyway, one day I got there on a Saturday to do my show, and I noticed all around the hallways and the men's room, there were these glue traps to catch rats and mice. I don't mind getting rid of rats and mice, but not with glue traps. It's abusive and should never be used. It's barbaric. So what I did is I took photographs of the management, and I put the photographs of the management on all the glue traps. This is the first time they ever found out, but that's why there were no more glue traps ever put down. All right, let me get back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Daniel in Oxnard. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the show.
Yes, hey, Warren. I was just trying to know if you know of a low-cost vet in Oxnard.
They're hard to find, but one of the things you might want to try is I just came across, as I Googled it myself, there's something there called Mercy Crusade Spay, Neuter, and Wellness Clinic. It's based in Oxnard.
That's the one I took my cats to, but his surgery was $700.
Listen, I just had my vet here the other day. I had to sell my car. No, I'm just joking. But I did. Yeah, it's expensive. You have to remember their costs went up as well. However, my friend Joy, with Rescue Me Inc., a great organization. If you want to help them out, please do. Rescue Me Inc., a great organization based right here in Woodland Hills. She works with a lot of vets that may be able to help you out. So here's what I'm going to do. Daniel, if you send me an email, and here's my email. You just send it to mail@thepetshow.com. Mail@thepetshow.com. Don't forget that the.
Okay.
Send me some information there, what you're looking for, and I will pass this on to Joy. And I'm telling you, if there is a low-cost vet in that area, she will let me know. She doesn't have the word no is not in her vocabulary. This is one of my friends that definitely deserves a halo. So send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, and I'll share that with Joy, and hopefully she'll be able to find a vet for you that may be low cost or maybe not, but at least she'll give it the best shot. I also noticed.
Sure. I appreciate that.
I also noticed that you would like some kitty lickies.
Yes.
For you or your cat?
Yes, for my cat.
Okay, no problem whatsoever. So what I'll do is I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette's going to pick up. We're going to send you some kitty lickies. Send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, and hopefully we can find a vet that can work within your means. But don't blame the vets. I'm telling you, the cost of veterinary school, the cost of what they have to do. I had my vet my vet comes to the house. I had her come to the house the other day, and I got to tell you, it's unbelievable what they have to go through as well. God, the phones are jamming. Let me squeeze another call in here. Let's go to Marcia La Cañada. Hey, Marcia, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. I want to tell you I really appreciate what you do for all the animals and people that love them.
Well, I could never do it without you. I could never do it without you guys.
I actually wanted to share information that I heard it on it was a special outreach from the woman who is in charge of the Riverside shelters.
Yeah, I got the memo. They're inundated. They're overrun with animals, and they need people to foster, and they need adoption. They need all kinds of help. So, if people are able to do that, I would definitely recommend that they contact the Riverside Shelter directly, find out what the needs are, and work with them. Now, I'm not familiar with the Riverside Shelter. I've heard good, I've heard bad, but the bottom line is I care about the animals. So if there's something you can do to help them out, that's the important thing for me.
Right, because they said what was happening was there was an illness that started going around in their shelter, and they needed to isolate the ones that are ill. But then they got, because a lot of people are releasing their animals, they got 347 animals in 1 week.
Yeah.
And so they don't have the space to house them.
So Marcia, I urge my listeners to contact the Riverside Shelter, find out, or go to their website, find out what their needs are. If you can foster, if you can adopt, if you could donate, whatever they need, I would definitely recommend. But let me explain something. Marcia, after I get off the air here,
I just wanted to get that out.
No, it's good. Marcia, don't go anywhere. I want to say, don't go anywhere. Stay where you are. Listen to me. I just wanted to get this out as well. As tough as that is, you all know that I do my national and Canadian show after this. This scenario I hear from dozens and dozens of shelters every single day. It breaks my heart. But I'm a Californian now with a New York accent. I don't say La Canada anymore. I say La Cañada. I've learned my lesson. So if you can help, go to the Riverside County Shelter, see what you can do. In the meantime, Marcia, I'm going to put you on hold and I'm going to send you a T-shirt that says "None of my friends walk upright." I'm going to take a break right now, but I want, the phones are full. I'm going to try to get through a couple of more calls, but write this number down. Because if I run out of time, you can start calling this number at 1 o'clock, but be patient. It goes to a Radio America Armed Forces Radio in Washington, D.C. It's a toll-free number. Write this number down, but don't start calling till 1 o'clock. 877-725-8255. As I said, I give away the same type of gifts. 877-725-8255. But don't start calling till 1 o'clock. In the meantime, I'll try to get some more calls right after this. And we are back on the Pet Show. So here's the deal. I could take another phone call right now, but I got 2 minutes and I don't want to rush anyone. So here's the deal. Jerome in Alhambra, Patricia in Anaheim. Great call, by the way, Patricia. I want you to call my national show. I'll send you a great gift. The same thing with you, Jerome. Carmen, also the dental hygiene, very important information. David Irvine, write this number down. This is the phone number for my national Canadian show. Starts at 1 o'clock. However, don't start calling till 1 and be patient. The calls come into Radio America based in Washington, D.C. So write this number down. Start calling at 1 o'clock. My California callers, you guys, if you call at 1, will be first up because the show starts at 5 minutes after. So the rest of the country and Canada doesn't realize we're on, and you guys are already be calling. So write this number down. 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Now, before we run out of time, I've been talking about this for the last few months. I have really increased my presence on my YouTube channel. Literally every day there are tips. Some are 1 minute, some are long, 6 minutes. There's great videos there on how to housebreak, how to stop chewing. And many of the issues that you're having are actually there on my YouTube channel. Plus the fact if you want to have some fun, you can watch some old videos of me doing a Regis and Kathy Lee or the Mickey Mouse Club or whatever I was doing, the Letterman Show. Anyway, again, the number 877-725-8255. If you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. It's free. And there's information going there every single day. Some of the videos, I don't want to sound egotistical, but I put a lot of my heart into answering a lot of questions there. So if I don't get to it here, you'll get to see it there. So it's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Again, the number for the national show, 877-725-8255. Thank you, Suzette. Thank you, Alex. Until next week, you all know what to do by now. Give all of your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, and a very special hug and a kiss right between the ear for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. You've been listening to The Pet Show.